Hi, this is the 13th Wolfman, and today I'm going to do a little review for a movie that's not quite a horror film. It's a movie that's in my collection. It's a movie that I liked as a teenager. But the reason I'm doing it is because one of the writers on one of the parts of the film was, well, Dan O'Bannon. Dan O'Bannon gave us films like Alien, Dead and Buried, and Return of the Living Dead, along with Dark Star, John Carpenter film. So today I'm talking about heavy metal. You know, it's a one-way ticket to midnight. You call it heavy metal. This movie was based on a fantastic illustrated comic book, or magazine, I guess you could say. They got a bunch of comic book artists to come in and do the drawings for it. The drawings were just great. I liked the way the animation looked in the early 80s, you know, with like heavy metal and what's it called? Pop music? Something. It just, I don't know. It had a different style to it. It seems like the animation of today, they've kind of stepped back like about 3 steps, and they don't draw right, if you ask me. It just seems a little blocky, you know. And then there's real crap out there like Eek the Cat and Phineas and Ferb, and just stuff that looks like, you know, 3-year-olds are drawing it. I'm sorry, but how these things get on the air is beyond me. But this movie here, again, heavy metal. You got 5 stories that are all interlocked around a central character called the Loch-Nar. It's an orb. And amongst these stories you have, well, you have the power to, I guess you don't have the power, but everybody wants the power of the Loch-Nar and what it can bring them. And the Loch-Nar is actually, in a way, a sentient being. And you really have to watch it to enjoy it. It's kind of hard to, you know, kind of hard to describe because, like I said, you got 5 separate stories that are all intertwined around this one central orb. But then you gotta, I almost pulled this for the 30-day horror challenge because they said pick a movie that has a great soundtrack, you know. But again, this isn't a horror film. It's got violence in it. It, you know, it's drawn violence, but I didn't pull it just because I didn't consider it horror. But when you think about the bands that are on this this soundtrack, Black Sabbath, Devo, Blue Oyster Cult, Riggs, Trust, Grand Funk Railroad, Sammy Hagar, Cheap Trick. These are just some of the bands that are on this. I mean, Sammy Hagar's got the title track, Heavy Metal. I quoted a line from it when I first opened this video up. When I first started talking on this video right here, that's what I should say. But this overall was a brilliantly drawn film. The stories are tight. Ivan Reitman, the man that brought us Ghostbusters, was a producer on this film. Elmer Bernstein did some of the musical score on this film, and then you have all the other music by the rock bands. They just need to get back and put another movie like this out. I mean, Disney's okay, but this was more of an independently drawn thing. I mean, they knew that, you know, if you gave them hard rock and boobs, hey, you'll get the teenage boys to come. Maybe the girls too, who knows? I don't know. But I've seen Heavy Metal 2000. It was okay. It was missing, I guess what it was missing was charm. I know that sounds kind of goofy, but that was the thing that was just kind of missing from the sequel. It was there graphically, it was there story-wise, but I don't know, there was just a little something missing, and I would have to say it was charm, for lack of a better word. I don't know how to describe it, but But if you want to see a good animated film from the early '80s with a great soundtrack and a bunch of people that, I mean, Cheech and Chong in this. I think they're in this, but I won't. You can't. But John Candy, Harold Ramis, you got voiceovers by people that just you just don't expect to be part of a cartoon like this. I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if you got the time, and if you got the money, go out and find Heavy Metal. Stick it in the DVD player, curl up with it, have a good time. Hell, go out and buy the soundtrack because I think if you love the movie, you'll love the music. This is the 13th Wolfman, and I am on the prowl.